What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Nehemiah, aka Neo, and today we're going to be talking about some hot takes that NBA Reddit has. I'm just gonna be looking at it, just a little fun video. There's not much to talk about because right now we're kind of in a dead point of the season, but yeah. So after reading Iguodala's comments on if I was okay, this is actually something that I really did want to talk about, but not in a video. So Iguodala had probably one of the worst takes that I've ever seen about Giannis. Like he genuinely does not know how Giannis plays, and that's just very frightening to me. But I think that this is not a hot take. I don't think that this is a hot take. This is a really good take, honestly. I really like this one. So pre-modern art is also okay. It depends on what they mean by modern. Are they talking about Bill Russell, or are we talking about MJ? I just want to know what type of frame he's talking about, because there's a good chance that he's talking about people from the 1990s, and I just don't know what he's talking about if this is the case. But if he's talking about Bill Russell, then yeah, I completely disagree. I completely agree with that. I think that he's probably right when it comes to how those guys are very disrespected in the league and just by fans. Ben Simmons is going to be an all-star next season. There's a one reason why I don't think that he's going to be an all-star next season, and we can just pull it up right now. So I don't think that they're going to have any guards. I don't think that actually Bradley Beal may be an all-star. Fred VanVleet may be an all-star. James Harden, Tyrese Maxey, Drew Holiday, of course Trae Young, maybe Tyrese Halliburton. Also, this is another thing. Tyrese Halliburton is what should have been in my last video. He should have been in my last video. I completely fumbled with that. Darius Garland, Kyrie Irving, Zach LaVine, and LaMelo, and Cade Cunningham. I think that some of these guys could just be better than Ben Simmons, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know that, and he could play power forward. But if he does play power forward, he's going up against Kevin Durant, Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's still maybe going up against not Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid for the front court, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, all those type of guys. And I don't think that I have even more faith in that. I think that he's probably better going for the guards, and I still think that that's probably a little too much for asking. Speaking of Kevin Garnett, every time I see continue to fail. Yep, I think that this is also a really good opinion. Kevin Garnett is underrated. I think I may even be underrating him. Should be willing to trade. They were willing to trade him. The problem was that they were also going to give up a guy like Marcus Smart and other pieces that they didn't want to. I think that they would have made this trade if it was just this. No questions, if, ands, or buts about it. There is no non-RJ Knicks offer that isn't really bad. You know, I I kind of agree with this. Unspoken part of why I don't care about this. I'm not reading all this. I'm gonna keep it a book. Let's move on. Damn, he got hella combos. Give me 1 year of Hakeem. Facts. Hakeem is probably the fourth or fifth best player in NBA history. If no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Hakeem was putting work in on everyone not named Michael Jordan. And even then, he was torching up the Bulls. People be saying something like, oh, well, if the Bulls played against the Houston Rockets, Hakeem wouldn't have two championships. I completely disagree with that. Hakeem has been torturing Michael's ass for decades, bro. Like, if they played, Hakeem would probably have more championships. Or let me not gas it, but Hakeem would definitely still have two championships if he played against Michael Jordan. So yeah, I don't agree with that. Traits based on scouting is a cancer. I can kind of see this. Yeah. That's actually 100% true. They're kind of commodifying these players in terms of the assets that they have rather than, the actual work that they've been putting in on the field. So, or on the court more so, not field. I'm thinking about football. Jason Tatum, or we'll leave the maybe, maybe. Well, I don't think that this is a hot take though. Is it? I don't know. I can't. This is this is a very OG topic. If y'all don't know who Sabonis is, Sabonis, the one in the league right now, he has a dad. His name is damn. Hold on, let me. Yeah, Arvydas Sabonis. So apparently, like this guy was on some nut shit when he was playing overseas. He was probably one of the best players on the planet, and he didn't really get the opportunity to play over here because of one thing or another. And I think that we do need to talk about that a little bit more when it comes to that. People are starting to talk about it, and it's really good to see how international play has been increasing over the time. But I do think that Sabonis could really just make an impact on whether or not Michael is a go. Don't know if this is so. Oh yeah, yeah. So a bit essentially what this guy's just saying is advanced medicine, advanced training just makes it so that the people here are much better than the people in the past. So yeah. So being a seventh tenth isn't as that's this is oh my god. Finally. This is something I've been saying for a while. The only reason why people don't want to be the seventh or tenth seed is because you don't get the best pick and you're probably not in the best position to win a championship. However, I do think that that's very counterintuitive to what a lot of teams are trying to do. You don't want a team that's always going to suck. That's what we're having with the OKC Thunder, where some of these players are just not going out and playing as good as they can. You don't want a losing culture in your team. You don't want that. There are countless examples of teams that just suck because they just haven't been coached properly. They just don't have enough, DNA in them to really sparkle like a little winning drive. Not to sound cliche, but some of these teams just don't care enough. And I think that if you instill losing culture on them, that's when you kind of get this. That being said, it's problematic to be a seventh, 10th seed because, or it's problematic to be that in several years because it's just showing that you're not improving. Would you say that the Memphis Grizzlies are a bad team? No, you wouldn't. Are you going to say that the Cleveland Cavaliers are a bad team because they were also around that seed? No, you wouldn't say that. Atlanta, no. Yeah, they may have moved in the wrong direction in one step or two, but there's definitely moving upwards. I don't understand why people want to go for these big draft picks, especially when it comes to teams that don't really need it. A team like Cleveland doesn't need the biggest draft pick. They already have who they need. A team like Portland a few years ago didn't need the biggest draft pick. They just needed a better player alongside Damian Lillard. So they should have been a little bit more prepared for that. And I think that that's something that this guy talked about, and I 100% agree. So trading for protected first round picks is smart because, for sure, LaMelo Ball. Nah, stop the cap. Stop the cap. Stop the cap, bro. I don't think loyalty has a place. Yes, it's just a business. It's just a business. Toronto is like, I think I think they're this season away, actually. I don't think that they're going to wait another season. Because when we look at the Eastern Conference right now, I think that there's a bunch of teams that could just stamp that are going to be better than them next year. Not them. Well, Boston is kind of iffy. Is Chicago going to be better? I don't know. But even then, this is still six teams. And then we haven't even talked about Chicago. Yeah, Chicago being better. We haven't talked about Charlotte Hornets maybe even improving. And again, we haven't talked about Boston Celtics. This is just something that we need to look going forward. And another thing is, this team, the Detroit Pistons, could take a lot of teams' money. I ain't gonna lie. They may be the 10th seed. So I think that they're probably just gonna go for the best teams or the best offers around them and maybe just build around that. Now, that being said, I don't know where Siakam will get traded to, nor Fred VanVleet, but yeah. Are wasting. Yep, this is 100% true. I think that this is actually a lot better for a pick than a lot of people will talk about. I ooh. I think I like this pick. I like this take. But that's not really a hot take. But going back to this one, the Pacers are trying to be one of the worst teams in the NBA. Now, this is actually a take that may contradict the earlier take, but I don't really care. So I think that the Indiana Pacers are supposed to be one of the worst teams in the NBA, and that's not because oh they should go for a winning roster. No, they just don't have the pieces right now, and I think that that's probably what they really need to look at. So looking at their roster right now, they have Chris Duarte, they have ooh, where is Jalen Smith is actually another pick for a player who could really turn out to be really good this season. They don't have Buddy. What the? Why do they have Buddy Hield? Buddy Hield is on a different. Is he? Oh no. He's on this roster. I'm dumb. I was thinking about the Sacramento Kings. But they have Chris Duarte. They have Tyrese Halliburton. Like these are some solid players. But after that, we just kind of get to a really big hump of kind of mad players, and that's kind of why I think that they should have wasted the money on, bro. So yeah, that was pretty bad. I don't think so. I don't think the Atlanta Hawks are going to be a better or a higher seed because looking at how the Atlanta Hawks did operate in the last couple of years, they were not one of the better seeds. So I don't know where that's coming from. When we look at the Atlanta Hawks, they just kind of weren't the best until the last 40-ish games of the season, and this has been the recipe for the last 2 years. Now this could change because a guy like damn DeJounte Murray is on the roster, but I don't really expect it to really change that much, especially when we just look at how good the East has been. So there's nothing much to load manage at all. I completely agree with this. Actually, there is no reason why the Ross or the schedule should be that long. I think that they should shorten it. This is a horrible take. I'm sorry. This is also a pretty bad take. This is an alright take. This is honestly, this dude went 1 for 5, or it was a 6. Yeah, 1 for 6. He or 1.5 for 6, I guess. Nah, bruh. Nah. Steph and Giannis are definitely top 5. Like no questions about it. LeBron and KD aren't. I don't think that there's really much separation between Embiid and KD at this point. And when we what the fuck? Hold on. But yeah, sorry for that admission. This dude is definitely right. KD is not better than Jokic. Stop it. He is not better than Embiid, but I could definitely see that. I see that one a lot more. Yeah, nah, this motherfucker is talking. That motherfucker is exactly what I'm talking about. All right. Well, let me just look at some of these last ones. Will be significantly. This is actually something that I 100% agree with. I think that the Suns aren't necessarily going to be worse because they got a worse roster. I think that they're going to be worse because of the competition around them. I think that everyone in the West was either already better than them or they're going to improve a lot more. And they're probably just going to outright be better. I think that these teams are already better than Phoenix. Like hands down. Gun to my head, you told me that any of those teams are better than Phoenix, I would say yes. 100%. Dallas, I would say that Dallas would definitely give these teams a lot more of a run for their money, especially a team like Denver, Minnesota, even the New Orleans Pelicans, and maybe the Memphis Grizzlies. But I think that Memphis is probably going to come out the West next year. At least look, actually, no, I don't. I think that the Clippers are going to come out the West next year. The Memphis Grizzlies are going to be my second, though. So, yeah. Absolutely bitch made for blowing it up. No, they're not. We're at a point where, nah, nuh-uh. I can't say this, man. The Utah Jazz were just consistently doing really dumb stuff in the playoffs. I can't say this, man. They just didn't have enough good roster construction. They did not have the roster around Rudy Gobert to actually build a really great team around him. So I think that's going to be it. Hold on. Let me check something. Yep, I went overboard. My fault. So it's been your boy Nehemiah, a.k.a. Neil. I hope you guys are having a great one. Bye-bye.